Raider Nation, help us get to 66,000 subscribers on the Las Vegas Raiders Report by Sunday. We need about like 400 more to do that. So if you could, please go ahead and hit that big red button that says subscribe. Now, if there's one thing that I know about the nation, y'all hate losing. And I hate losing too, especially to the Dallas Cowboys. As you can see here, the Las Vegas Raiders Report is down by about 15,000 subscribers. The company here at Chat Sports, we have a main Raiders channel, and we have a Cowboys one. My girlfriend, she's also a Cowboys fan, and she continues to rub it in my face. So if you could, please subscribe. Let's catch the Cowboys Report. I would definitely appreciate it. Let's now get into today's show. News, rumors, and a lot of injury updates. No matter the location, from O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider. Raider Nation, what is going on? Today's show is presented by Only One Nation. Who here needs some new Raiders gear for the holidays? Who here wants some new Raiders gear for the holidays? Yeah, you and me both. Go to onlyoneNation60.com and use code 30OFF. It's, wait a minute. Yes, it's right here. 30 off. It's going to be able to save you 30% off if you want this t-shirt. And they just dropped a new hat, and I'll tell you about that coming up here in just a little bit. Let's talk about the running back, Josh Jacobs, and the latest on him. He sprained his ankle in Week 12 versus Atlanta. At first, I know a lot of people were worried about the injury, and then it came out on Monday that it didn't look too severe. However, he did miss practice on Wednesday, and as soon as I saw that, as soon as I heard that, I did get a little bit nervous because obviously you want to be able to have your main running back out on the football field. Do the Raiders have other depth? Yes. Do I have confidence in Devontae Booker? Of course I do. But Josh Jacobs is one of the best running backs in the National Football League, and even though this year I don't think has gone the way he was hoping in terms of yards per carry, because last year as a rookie, 4.8, the defense has been, well, I think stacking the box against him. The 9 touchdowns is impressive. The 206 carries, he is a true workhorse. So with that being said, if he is unable to go, I still am a believer that Devontae Booker is going to get the bulk of the carries. But good news, Jalen Richard, he is activated. He looks like he's going to be able to play this week. Theo Riddick missed last week due to COVID. He looks like he's going to be able to play. Alec Ingold's got 3 broken ribs, and when they asked about him, he literally just said, I've been trying to put him back together. Josh Jacobs is an extremely tough guy, so I'm curious on how y'all go on this one. What's your worry level, maybe your panic meter on Jacobs' injuries? Scale from 0 to 10. 0 being you're not worried at all. Josh Jacobs is good to go. We'll give him 30 carries this week. Or if you're like freaking out, he's going to miss the entire season. I want you to type 10. He's a really important piece of this offense. He's going to be a player that can really take us deep into the playoffs if we do make it to the playoffs. So I'm going to put it at a 5, but I don't think he's going to miss this week. If he does miss this week, if y'all play fantasy football week 13, man, this is the time of the year where fantasy playoffs are roaring. If you need a running back, maybe you had Jacobs, go pick up Devontae Booker up against the New York Jets. If he gets 20 carries, that's probably 100 yards and a touchdown. Go pick up Booker. A guy who's been an excellent pickup for the Raiders, probably the best one on offense this year, Nelson Agholor. I didn't know that Agholor was dealing with an ankle injury. He missed Wednesday's practice. There was a report that came out today that said he should be good to go against the Jets. Obviously, I am a little bit worried because he has been the Raiders' number 1 wide receiver this year. However, let's say the ankle is bothering him. Let's say that he's not able to use the speed and really his ability to stretch the football field that he's been doing. You could see them get Ruggs a little bit more involved, and I don't know about you, I would like to see Ruggs get a little bit more involved. Now, you take away that speed, though, from Agholor. That's what he's been able to do for the Raiders. He's really been a field stretcher. 17.1 yards per catch, 6 touchdowns. Probably should have about 8 or 9 if he didn't drop 2, and if Derek didn't miss him on 1 a few weeks ago. But he's been phenomenal, and he has been the number 1 wide receiver. And if he's unable to go, you're going to see more targets go to a guy like Darren Waller. Maybe they promote somebody like Rico Gafford off the practice squad. I think it's going to be a little bit more of Ruggs, Renfro, insert Darren Waller, and then getting the running backs involved like Devontae Booker and Theo Riddick, who's been activated, who is also a pass-catching specialist. Now, everyone, if you already subscribed, great job. That's only part of it, though. So what I always try to do before a show is I come up with a goal. I'm just being honest with you. And my goal today was to get more of y'all to hit the notification bell. So it's right underneath the video. It literally looks like a bell. The way that you turn your notifications on is as simple as this. You need to go, click the bell, and then to make sure that you get push notifications, go to your settings app, scroll down and tap YouTube, tap notifications, and then turn on allow notifications. What does that mean and why should you do it? If there's breaking news around the Raiders, we're going to do a video on it. Then you get notified on your phone, breaking news around the Raiders, then you can join the video. If you want to be your friend or that guy that knows everything about the Raiders and you want to know it before everyone, we're the channel to help you do that. So subscribe and turn on those notifications. All right, we're going to talk about the big guy, Trent Brown, and I saw the report come out that he was able to return to practice on Wednesday. I got excited, and he hasn't really played since Week 5. If you remember, he had a COVID issue, then he had the IV issue. It's been an absolute roller coaster ride for Brown. Despite him returning to practice on Wednesday, it was still in a limited fashion. He is unlikely to play against the Jets. ESPN's Paul Gutierrez basically breaks it down and says the Raiders aren't going to rush him back, and until Trent Brown is confident enough to go out and play, he's not going to play. Jon Gruden spoke about it and said that they're also going to be patient, but if you're cleared to play and you can practice and you're not going to play, at this point, man, I don't really know what to think about Trent Brown. I'd be very surprised if he's back next offseason. So let's look at the offensive line, which there is a lot of injuries to go around. Colt Miller, he's going to be good to go. Denzel Good was battling an injury. I think he's going to be able to play. Hudson, Gabe Jackson, all good. Trent Brown's not listed with an injury, but I don't anticipate him playing. No Sam Young either. Let's just say Denzel Good can't play, and with Trent Brown not going, look for Brandon Parker to once again play the right tackle. He's been solid at the right tackle position, but he did have a pretty rough week this past week. So what do you think about Trent Brown? Is he going to play against the Jets? Y for yes or N for no? I'm going to type my N for no just because it's Trent Brown. He doesn't seem like he wants to play, doesn't seem like he's even interested in playing. I know he had some unfortunate things that happened earlier in him, but we've seen a lot of other Raiders players try to fight back. Heck, Alec Ingold's playing through 3 broken ribs. If Trent Brown wanted to play, I think he really could. I just don't think he wants to, honestly. One thing that I hope that you all want to go out and get is a brand new Only One Nation hat. So if you need new Raiders gear, this is like the new hat that they dropped, and I absolutely love it because I like camouflage, but this is like a Raiders silver and black camouflage. I know it might be difficult to see in the picture, but it's a camouflage hat, and you can get it at onlyoneNation60.com. Use code 30OFF for 30% off. And if you want the t-shirt that I got on, well, guess where I got it? I got it at onlyoneNation60.com. I kind of wish I would have waited to get this deal. I only got a 25% off. So, Rick, I know where you live, Rick. He's the guy that owns Only One Nation. Maybe I get a new one. Seriously, y'all, you need a stocking stuffer. You want something underneath the tree. Go ahead, onlyoneNation60.com. Code 30OFF. I'm going to put that link in the comments and in the description. Hook them up, Raider fans. That's what the holidays are all about. All right, y'all, so now we're going to talk about Lamarcus Joyner, and he's back. Joyner is back. He missed the past 2 weeks due to COVID. He returned to practice on Wednesday, and I'm curious to see how much they put him in the football game, because one thing that we've seen a lot of the reports from Raiders beat writers or from players themselves is COVID's no joke, and it really kicked Joyner's butt, and it kicked the guy's butt, Clelin Ferrell, who we're about to talk about next. But for Joyner, he usually plays around 70% of the snaps every single week. Will he get that much playing time this week? I anticipate he does, because when he's been on the field, they've moved him around a lot. Now, he's not been quite the player that they were hoping that they signed back in 2019, but he has played a lot better. You can see the 46 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 3 pass breakups, still no INTs, but how has he done in coverage? Because when you went out and signed Joyner to that 4-year contract worth $40 million, he was originally a safety for the Rams. So they were trying to make him into this versatile, I guess, nickel corner Swiss Army knife, and he has been a lot better this year, as you can see as the numbers are on screen. The reason why I definitely think that Joyner is going to play over 70%, and he's probably going to play more, is because the Raiders have to. Damon Arnette is still in the concussion protocol. As you can see, he is listed there as injured, and I'm not 100% sure whether or not he is going to play. Eric Harris is battling an injury as well. I know Jonathan Abram popped up on the injury report, but for Damon Arnette and a concussion, you got to go through the 5-day protocol. If he passes all the tests, he will be good to go. But Damon Arnette in last week's game made an early great play. He made a tackle. They took him out for a little bit, tried to come back in, tried to battle it out. He's a tough dude. And then he left again due to concussion protocol. Bottom line is this. They're not going to play games with concussions. It's up in the air. Maybe 2 Chucky heads that he's going to play. Let's talk about Clelin Ferrell, who is also ready to go, and this is good, man. So he, again, missed the past 2 games due to COVID, and I actually thought he was going to be able to play up against the Atlanta Falcons, and at the very last minute, he was rolled a scratch, and it was due to some COVID complications. And again, it's just another example where they're just not going to risk it. So he returned to practice. He will play this week, which is a huge boost up against the New York Jets. And the number that y'all see on screen says 0 sacks. And you're going to freak out because, oh, you drafted him number 4 overall. He should get more production. You're not wrong. When you draft somebody in the top 5, he absolutely should get more production. But let's not get it twisted. Clelin Ferrell's been probably the best defensive lineman the Raiders have had this season. Yes, Max Crosby has 6 sacks, but Clee's been bouncing around from left end to defensive tackle. With the injuries to Mo Hurst, with, spoiler alert, Malik Collins is on the IR. We'll talk about that in a sec. With Collins being on the IR and with David Irving being out as well probably, look for Clelin Ferrell to play a lot of defensive tackle. Look for them to play a lot more guys like Arden Key, Carl Nassib at the left end spot, and who knows, I would love to see I would love to be able to see Vic Beasley, but I'll tell you whether or not he's going to play here in a little bit. So they get back Lamarcus Joyner. You get back Clelin Ferrell. These are 2 very key pieces to this Raiders defense. I get that it's the Jets, but you can't sleepwalk in the NFL or else you're going to get punched in the mouth like Nate Robinson. So Lamarcus Joyner type LJ, Clelin Ferrell type CF. Who's the bigger addition to defense this week? Tuesday I talked about Malik Collins. I said, you know what, man, you got to put him on the bench. He's been absolutely terrible. Probably the worst defensive tackle in the National Football League right now, but maybe it's due to a shoulder injury that he's been battling all year. Now, anytime you lose a player who's been playing 58% of your snaps, normally that's not good. But he was placed on the short-term IR. He will be eligible to return Week 16 versus the Miami Dolphins. The real question is, when you're ranked 127th out of 127 in terms of defensive tackles according to PFF, maybe you shouldn't come back. Now, when the Raiders signed him to his 1-year, $6 million deal, I know a lot of y'all were excited. He was a pretty solid player for Rod Marinelli back with the Cowboys, but it just hasn't worked out. So right now, he's going to be targeting this game, Week 16 against the Dolphins on Saturday night. Obviously, I'm going to be live for it. We're going to be doing a watch party. But between you and me, if I'm Malik Collins, if I'm his agent, I tell him to rest because you're not going to be coming back to the Raiders next year. How bad you were, don't risk it. So if you were to ask me, have we seen the final plays of Malik Collins in silver and black? I would say yes if they don't make the playoffs. If they make the playoffs, I do think you end up seeing him back. So the next player we're going to talk about is Vic Beasley. Do you think Beasley is going to play against the Jets? Go down to the comments section. Whether you see this video on YouTube, Facebook, I don't care where. I want you to type P for play, or I want you to type S for sit. I'm going to tell you right now. It's not looking good for Beasley. That's just the honest truth. So he's still on the practice squad. Let's keep that in mind. Gruden talked about him a little bit on Wednesday, said he's got to get himself 100% healthy and invested, and then we'll see. Also today, when defensive coordinator Paul Guenther spoke to the media, basically illustrated the same thing. They're excited about Vic Beasley. They know what kind of talent he has, but is he 100% committed? Before the Raiders signed Vic Beasley, remember, he thought about retiring. He thought about becoming a minister. Yes, that is a real true thing. So if he's healthy, if he's ready to go, anticipate the Raiders get him out there on the football field. But until that happens, I don't see it being likely that he plays anytime soon. And I can almost guarantee he's not playing this week. So keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. I'm getting ready to round out the show. Obviously, this has been a very injury-heavy show because of the amount of big-time injuries the Raiders have had. Here are the Jets' Week 13 injuries to at least keep in mind are the guys that popped up on the injury report. The biggest name that I want y'all to look like on screen right now, Pat Elflein, who they just signed, center from the originally from the Minnesota Vikings. And then on the next page here, Connor McGovern, one of their offensive linemen. That could be a big-time loss. Rashard Perriman, who was supposed to be their number 1 wide receiver for Sam Darnold, who is also on the list. Now, he's going to play. He's a full participant. But no Sam Darnold, Rashard Perriman, or no Sam Darnold all week at practice could impact them a little bit. But, I mean, if Sam doesn't play, give me Joe Flacco every single day of the week. Just means you're going to stack the box, try to stop Frank Gore, the 37-year-old running back who continues to still get it done. Jon Gruden said that he's going to be a future Hall of Famer one day, and yes, Frank Gore will be. Now, if y'all have made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. If you're ever down to talk Raiders, hit me up on IG. I'm at Mitchell Renz 365. And you know what? To the people that did make it this far in the video, one of my buddies from college posted a really embarrassing picture of me, and I shared it on my Instagram story. So you have 24 hours to see it. If you missed it, too bad.